Hello everyone, my name is Chloe and today I am here with a brand new video. Welcome to Brunette Bibliophile, where I post bookish videos and writing content. Today I am here to talk about my extensive list of anticipated releases for January, February, March, and April 2023. I have a total of 26 books to talk about, so grab a snack because this is going to take a minute, but we're going to jump right in, starting with January. January is the biggest month of new releases, and we are starting right off on January 3rd. The first one is Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. This is a collection of 3 novellas that Ali Hazelwood released throughout 2022, and they're finally coming out in a bind-up edition. I've already read each of these, but I do plan on reading them again when this book comes out, because I think it'll be good to have a refresher and also to be able to physically read them as opposed to just listening to an audiobook. I've also already pre-ordered this because I'm very excited and I love Ali Hazelwood's work. Also coming out on January 3rd, we have Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is her YA debut for the romance genre. You may know this author from the Act Your Age Chloe Brown trilogy, but I believe that this is her young adult debut, and I haven't read a book by her in a while, so I think I'm excited for this one. Next, coming out on January 10th, we have Cool, Awkward, Black short stories edited by Karen Strong. This is an anthology written entirely by a Black cast of authors. Some of the authors that I'm interested in reading from this include Elise Bryant, Leah Johnson, Callan Bayron, but there's also a bunch of authors that I have not read from before, so this is definitely going to be something I am interested in checking out, specifically for those authors that I have read before, but maybe to be introduced to some new authors as well. Also coming out on January 10th, we have Spare. I'm fairly new to memoirs. I only read a select few, but this is definitely one that I'm interested in as something that is done by a member of the royal family, not by somebody close to the royal family or somebody who is like a historian. And it's also going to be a fairly recent one as far as different things that have been happening the past couple of years in the royal family. I'm also a huge fan of The Crown, so that also kind of puts some excitement into me wanting to read this memoir. Also coming out on January 10th, we have The Wicked Ones by Robin Benway. This is one that just happened to pop up on like my Amazon, and it also is the first in a series from my understanding. I have never heard of this author before. I had never seen this book until I saw it on Amazon, so my understanding is this is following the 2 ugly stepsisters from Cinderella. I'm definitely interested in reading that because my novel that I wrote is a Cinderella retelling following a stepsister, so definitely something I'm interested in just to get another take on the stepsister perspective. I also really like retellings. Next, coming out on January 17th, we have The Fraud Squad by Kyla Zhao. I cannot remember what this is about. I remember seeing it on NetGalley. I'm really interested in the cover, and I believe it is a contemporary, so that's all I know, and I think I'm going to stay blind with this one. Next, coming out on January 24th, we have Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. These are the authors of The Roughest Draft, which I read last year, and I'm actually very excited for this one because that was my first adult romance from these 2 authors, and I really enjoyed it, so I definitely think that I will enjoy this new adult romance as well. And the last couple are all coming out on January 31st. First, we have Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I am not caught up on the Shadowhunters world at all, but I'm still very excited for this book. I think I'm like 3 books behind right now, so hopefully I can catch up pretty soon. Next, we have Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun by Elle Casimano. This is the 3rd book in the Finlay Donovan series. This is a cozy mystery series, kind of like a fun mystery series almost. I've only read the first book. I haven't had the chance to pick up the second one yet, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I am excited to see what else happens in this series. Next, we have Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling by Elise Bryant. This is the 3rd book in her companion series. The first one was Happily Ever Afters, the second one was One True Loves, and now we have this one following a new character that we briefly met in the previous book. This is about Reggie and Delilah falling in love through a series of missed connections and holidays throughout the year. I have really enjoyed Elise Bryant's previous 2 books, so I'm very excited to pick this one up as well. And the last one for January, we have The Davenports by Crystal Marquise. This is a young adult book that is the first in a series. It is for fans of Bridgerton, set in the turn of the century Chicago and featuring an all-black main cast. I am very excited to pick this one up. I really enjoy the Bridgerton books and TV show as well, so anything even remotely compared to Bridgerton, I definitely want to check it out. Moving into February, we have 4 releases in February. Starting on February 7th, we have Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. I love Katie Robert books, and I am so excited to pick this one up. I'm still catching up on this series. This is going to be the 4th one in the Dark Olympus series, which is supposed to be a total of 10 books, and I'm so excited for more books from this series. Also coming out on February 7th, we have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is the first in a new adult rom-com series from Tessa Bailey, featuring a professor and his neighbor, and I am very excited for this one. I will never be able to catch up on all of Tessa Bailey's backlist, but hopefully I can be excited for her new releases. I've now read 3 books by Tessa Bailey, 2 of which I enjoyed, 1 which was just okay, so I'm interested to see what else she releases. So this next one I thought was a new release, but it looks like it is a re-release, and it's coming on February 14th, which is Take the Lead by Alexis Daria. So it looks like this was originally published in 2017, but it is getting repackaged and re-released, potentially with a traditional publisher. I'm not sure if it was self-pub before, but I really enjoyed Alexis Daria's Primas of Power series, so this is something I would be interested in checking out. And then coming out on February 28th, we have My Dear Henry, a Jekyll and Hyde remix by Callan Bayron. This is a retelling of Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know too much about this one. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but I do trust Callan Bayron's previous work, so this will be something that I want to look into. And we are moving right into March. Coming out on March 7th, we have Rosewood by Sayantani Dasgupta. This is a Sense and Sensibility retelling. So this is centered at a summer camp, but campers are being scouted for a Bridgerton-like TV show. And like I said earlier, anything with even a hint of Bridgerton, even if it's something like this, I'm here for. Also coming out on March 7th, we have Royal Blood by Amy Carter. This is a book following the illegitimate daughter of the King of England, and she has to spend, I believe it's a summer with him. I love books regarding monarchies and royalty such as this, so I'm very excited to check this one out. Next, coming out on March 14th, we have While You Were Dreaming by Alicia Rai. This is her young adult debut following an undocumented immigrant teen who is suddenly faced with online fame. And the synopsis says it is for fans of Nicola Yoon and Sonia Menon, so I think this one is right up my alley. Next, coming out on March 28th, we have The Gargoyle's Captive by Katie Robert. This is the 3rd in the, I guess, Dragon's Bride series. I don't know what the actual series name is, but I read the first one, which was The Dragon's Bride, a couple of months ago, and I really enjoyed it, so I definitely want to check out the remainder of this series. And coming out on March 30th, we have Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Satanto. So this author also wrote Dial A for Aunties, which I really enjoyed. It is so funny and witty, but also having the mystery aspect to it. So this definitely seems like it's going to be something along that vibe as well, and something I definitely want to check out. I have been reading select mysteries recently. A lot of them have to be more of like mystery mixed with contemporary, and that is what I really enjoy. So this looks like something I will also really enjoy. And we are going right into the last month with the last books coming out in April. These first couple all come out on April 4th. First, we have When You Wish Upon a Star by Elizabeth Lim. This is the next book in the Twisted Tales series. I can't even remember which number this is, but this is a Pinocchio retelling. And for this one, the twist is, what if the Blue Fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? I'm not a huge fan of Pinocchio. It's definitely not the first Disney movie that I gravitate towards, but I am interested in reading the rest of this series, so I definitely want to see what they do with this book and how far this series can be taken before they run out of choices. Next, we have a new series from Angie Thomas, and it is called Nick Blake and the Remarkables. The first book in the series is The Manifester Prophecy, and this is a middle grade debut for Angie Thomas. This is a contemporary fantasy trilogy, so we can expect 2 more books in this series, and it follows African American history and folklore. Excuse me, it's inspired by African American history and folklore. I love Angie Thomas's young adult work, so I'm definitely interested to see what she does, one, on a fantasy level, because she's only done contemporary before, but also what she does in a middle grade book as well. The last one coming out on April 4th is The Plus One by Maisie Eddings. This is the 3rd book in the Brush with Love series that I have not really kept up on. I've only read the first book in this companion series, but Maisie Eddings is definitely becoming a well-known name, and I'm excited to see what else she does. Next, coming out on April 11th, we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This new book is following Bree, who we met in Part of Your World. Basically, all of Abby Jimenez's books just slowly build off of the previous book, or you follow a random character that was met in a previous book, and I love that. She's building this whole universe of her characters, and her books are heartbreaking and amazing and really well done, so I'm definitely excited to read this one as well. Next, coming out on April 25th, one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I don't know what it's about. I don't care what it's about. I'm going to read it. Emily Henry's romance books are so much deeper than romance, and they're just so good, and I'm so excited to read them. I have read everything since Beach Read, and I am just ready for it. And the last book in all of my anticipated releases for the first third of the year, coming out on April 25th, we have An Improbable Season by Rosalind Eves. You already know what I'm gonna say. It sounds like Bridgerton, therefore I want to read it. And judging by the synopsis, it looks like it is a young adult following 2 sisters and their cousin who are all off to their very first season in Regency London, and they all have different things that they want to take out of this season. So those are all of my anticipated releases for January, February, March, and April. It is a lot of books. There's a lot of great stuff that I'm looking forward to this year, and I am so excited for every single one of them. Down in the comments, let me know any of your anticipated releases for this year, or leave an emoji so that I know that you watched this video. That is all I have for you all today, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every week, so click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. And if you really like my content, consider checking out my Patreon, linked in the description below. Thank you all so much. I'll see you in my next one. Bye! In the darkness, I don't feel